live on Facebook and YouTube as well. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are across the world. Welcome to Live a Phenomenal Life Show with me, Madame Merola. And yes, it is great to be back again on another phenomenal Monday. And I say phenomenal because I don't know about you, but I know that life can get hectic sometimes, and we're already at the end of October. We are just about to get into November. So just 2 months left before the end of the year. And many of us are already getting to feel the fatigue and all of that and wanting the year to be over. But guess what? You can't be like that because of the fact that life has to be lived in the moment. So it's important for us to learn what it is that's making us feel stressed out, that's making us tired, that's making us lose the momentum and the excitement which we've been feeling about our work, about our lives, and get back that feeling because we need it for us to be at our optimal best, for us to be able to fulfill our highest potentials in life. So it is necessary for us to be able to understand that there are some things that will show up in our lives that will derail us, that will make us demotivated. And it's our job to be able to not just deal with it, but to be able to overcome it and beat it in a way that we are able to keep on moving on. So wherever you're logging in from, please say hello to me. And if this is your first time on Live a Phenomenal Live Show, let me know so I can do a shout out to you. So Instagram, thank you so much. I have to lean forward a little bit because my screen is covering. So let me do this. Give me a second. Let me see if I can go lower on my laptop. Fantastic. Now this works better because that way I can see the comments. Welcome, the Solakwe Photography, Adrian, Decono 98, and Shop Trend Store on Instagram. Good to have you guys here. For those of you joining me on Facebook and on YouTube, say hello, and I would also acknowledge you before we get started. Welcome, Green and Healthy NG. It is so nice to have all of you here. If it's your first time, please let me know so that I can say hi to you. And if you can invite other people, that would be awesome as well. The more the merrier, right? Especially because it's such a key topic that we are discussing today. So I appreciate it if you can help me send this video to other people and let them join in. And also, please participate by letting me know what your thoughts are. And also, if you have any tips about what we're discussing today, which is dealing with burnout syndrome. Yes. So I appreciate it. So as you guys are logging in and inviting your friends, let's get started with affirmations because that's how we do it here on Live a Phenomenal Life Show. For those of you that are coming for the first time, my name is Madame Merola. And I am known as the Bang Creator because what I do is I ignite the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. So I exist to ensure that you are powered up in life, that you are living a life of purpose, that you're able to effectively communicate who you are as a personal brand, and you are doing it in such a profitable and prominent way. So that's who I am in a nutshell. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. And I hope you guys are also going to gain so much value for what I'm going to share today because I believe it's going to help somebody. You might not even know if you're already going through some of the stages of burnout, or maybe you had it in the past and you didn't know what it was called. I believe that by the end of the session today, you will be able to recognize when you're going through the phases of burnout and how to deal with it quickly so that it doesn't escalate to the highest level, which can lead to depression, right? Many people don't know there's a difference between burnout and depression. And that's why I'm talking about it because sometimes you will be worried and say, oh, am I having the symptoms of depression? You might not be sinking into depression yet, but you could be well on your way to it. So it's better for you to be able to nip it in the bud early so that you don't sink into depression. But then burnout itself can also be detrimental to your lifestyle, to your health, to your mental state. And that's why I'm talking about it because guess what? I have actually started experiencing it and I'm still going through the stages of burnout right now, but I've also been able to recognize it so that I don't sink into it deeper. So that is the reason why I said, hey, if I'm going through it and I'm normally so hyper, very energetic, very confident, and very productive, other people could be going through as well, and they probably don't have the coping mechanism they need. So that is why I chose this topic for you guys, because to live a phenomenal life, we have to be able to be truthful to ourselves. Radical acceptance, radical awareness of what is going on, and for us to be able to say, okay, I am in charge of my life. I take full responsibility for the things I'm going through, the things I'm feeling, and I'm going to be intentional about how I sort it out so that it does not derail me or harm me in the future. Okay, so if we got that, let's do the affirmations and then we can get into the topic. All righty. Welcome, guys. It's so good to have you guys here. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. So I'm shuffling the cards so that I can pick five randomly and we are good to go. Okay, so any five randomly would be good. One, two, okay, three, four, five. See, done randomly so that it's not premeditated, so it can just free flow. And I hope they would help us for today. I love speaking affirmations, they really help me. But then sometimes affirmations are not enough as well. Hi, from welcome to the show, Live a Phenomenal Life with Madame Merola. So I've got the cards, so let's go. The first card says, my life is a masterpiece in creation. I create my reality and I am in control of my choices. I am steering the wheel of my life. How apt is that for what we're talking about today? The second card says, I attract loving and supportive people into my life. I am surrounded by people who genuinely want to see me succeed in life. They inspire me to be great. Woohoo! How fantastic. And you guys are going to see why that card is fantastic, because in life, where especially when you're going out, when you're having stressful moments and you're feeling melancholic and stuff, you need to have people in your corner that you can trust and talk to. So that is why that is such a good card, because you need to have people that support you all the way. Yes, Hemform, I know you like that card too. The third card says, I stand tall and proud in the midst of others, knowing that I am enough. Yes, my life is worth living. I am valuable. Yes, yes, yes. It's important for you to know that you matter, your feelings matter, whatever you're going through internally, externally, it matters, and that you also have the power to change it. Okay, so the fourth card says, each day I feel grateful and live in a state of gratitude for everything in my life. I am grateful. Happiness and contentment grows in my life daily. Happiness and contentment grows in my life daily. That is so important, especially because of the fact that we're talking about burnout. So, burnout can be a state of dissatisfaction with the state of living that you are in. So, we need to have that sense of contentment and gratitude for the life we have. So, this is an absolutely fabulous part. And the fifth card says, oh, actually, I got six. Okay, I guess you wanted to be six today, so I'll read them both. Life is constantly, sorry, love is constantly in my life. Happiness, joy, and peace of mind find me daily. There are miracles and blessings of all kinds in my life. Regularly, life is awesome. Woo! And the sixth card, because I picked six by mistake, says, in life, all things happen for my highest good. I am a fast learner and make all experiences work for me. I learn the valuable lessons life offers me to grow. Yay! If you love those affirmations just like I did, give me some thumbs up, put up some emojis on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and feel them. It's so important. Guys, you guys can start to type your comments, type your questions as we go along, because it's an interactive session and I'm looking at two screens simultaneously. The screen for YouTube and Facebook is on a platform called StreamYard here, and the other one is on Instagram on my phone. So yes, Healthy Life Steps. Thanks for the thumbs up. Breakfast in Abuja, welcome. Thank you guys for your response. So let's get started. What is burnout syndrome? You guys, like, shout out type them on the screen for me. What do you understand burnout syndrome to mean? As in, what do you think of when you hear the word burnout? You hear people say that, oh my gosh, I feel burnt out. Oh my God, I think I'm experiencing burnout syndrome. What comes to your mind when you hear that word or that sentence, burnout syndrome? I would love to hear your feedback before I put up the definition that I have for you guys on the screen. Okay. So I want to know what you guys think burnout is as I go on. So I'm going to put it up on the screen. Sorry, Instagram, you guys don't get to see it, but I will read it out for you so that you also get to know what exactly is going on here on the StreamYard platform for Facebook and YouTube that you guys are not interacting. So Healthy for Life stuff on Instagram says stressed out. Yes, sister. That is one of the things that come to our mind that, oh my gosh, I'm feeling stressed out. And that is a state of burnout. You are absolutely right, Maria. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anybody else want to share with us what they think burnout is? There is no right or wrong answer because burnout is whatever you're feeling. So whatever you say it is what it is. You know, nobody has a right to put their definition on you. It's basically what you say it is. Okay. So this is what the definition I have for you is, and I hope you guys can hear me on Instagram. Burnout is defined as the extinction of motivation or incentive, especially where one's devotion to a cause or a relationship or to work fails to produce the desired results. Okay, I'll read that again. Burnout is defined as the extinction of motivation or incentive, especially where one's devotion to a cause or relationship or to a job fails to produce the desired result. So, hands up. Give me an emoji hands up if you've ever felt like this in any time in your life where you feel demotivated, where you feel like you've lost your passion, you've lost your excitement about a certain kind of relationship or a certain kind of work you're doing or life in general. If you've gone through that before, I want to see your hands up. I'm putting both hands up because I've experienced this multiple times in my 43 years of existence. And as I explained to you, I'm currently going through it right now, whereby I woke up sometime last week and I started feeling a little bit very melancholic about life. And I was beginning to start to stress out and worry about everything and anything. And I was like, beginning to question myself and doubt myself. And that is so not me. Anybody that knows me knows I am super confident, I'm super optimistic. But all of a sudden, I was just like, you know what? I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm tired of doing what I'm doing. I'm tired. I don't feel that energy, that, exuberant feeling that I normally have every day when I wake up to say, yay, I get to wake up today to live another life, to ignite people, to live their best life, to be phenomenal, to be awesome personal brands and all those kind of things and make people discover their inner genius. I just lost it. Okay, Breakfast in the City Abuja is saying, I think I'm getting out of it now. I'm a bit overworked and burnt out. Thank you so much for sharing your truth with us, Madame Dele, Breakfast in the City Abuja. Yes, look, the first stage of anything in life is to accept that, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling. And then to be able to actually accept it. We grow up in a community sometimes or in a state of environment that tells us, to not own up to how we're feeling, especially when there are not things that are positive, but it does more damage than good. So Madame Dele on Instagram just said right now that she thinks she's getting out of it because she's been overworked and burnt out. That's it. Most of us overwork ourselves. And that's why I said burnout is real. Burnout is being experienced by people all over the world because of the fact that many of us are overworked, many of us are tired, many of us have so many things that we're thinking about, and then we just get that overwhelmed state. Maria on Instagram says, I feel that way when I'm anxious. Absolutely. And then we've got Michael Sewell here on Facebook saying, when one has expended themselves to a point where the investment loses its original value. I love that, Michael. When one has expended himself to a point where the investment loses its original value. So it's an investment of your time, it's an investment of your energy, it's an investment of your passion, it's an investment of everything, sometimes money, everything that is valuable to you. And then you start to feel like, oh my gosh, what exactly is going on right now? I'm not feeling it. It's important for us to know when we're going through it. So, as I told you, I realized I was beginning to feel that way last week. And I was quick to be able to own it and say, okay, Madame Merola, this feeling that you're having is not your normal way of feeling. What is going on? You need to be able to put in check valves in your life to be able to know when something is amiss, when something is out of place, out of alignment, so that you can realign yourself back. That is why alignment in life is so key. Work life balance, all those things we hear people say it, but many times, you have to live it to be able to know exactly how to be able to keep the balance in a way whereby you're not having this one too much and the other one too low, and things are just not fitting right. Okay. So thank you guys for sharing with me. I love the fact that you guys are actually, co-sharing this show with me. So please keep your comments coming. I promise I will share them and also give you a shout out to credit you with whatever you're sharing. So thank you guys. So I have something I wanted to share with you guys before I tell you what the 5 stages of burnout is, and then how you can also get to start to deal with it, overcome it, and then prevent it. That's so important, right? We don't even want to get to that state if we can help it. But most times, we sometimes find ourselves falling into this rat race, into this constant conundrum of working and working and working and producing, especially if you are a perfectionist, especially if you're the kind of person that's an overachiever like me, that you just don't want to do things average, you don't want to do things that are good, you want to do great things, you want to do phenomenal things. So it's easy to get into the state of overwhelm or overstress yourself. Okay, so let me get the next thing I wanted to share with you. Okay, so it's important for us to note that the stress that contributes to burnout can come mainly from your job, but it can also come from your overall lifestyle. Okay. But stress from your overall lifestyle can add to the stress you're already feeling from your job. So it's important to note that. And this is because many times when you check online, check dictionaries, they always talk about job overwhelm, job stresses are the things that lead to burnout. I dare say that sometimes we're even stressed out from relationships, right? Especially relationships that have so much demand on us. So it could be the relationship you have with dependent children that need you a lot of times, and you find yourself just out of alignment with yourself because it is adding up to your stress level to have to manage dependence, or even in a romantic relationship or in a relationship with some friends that are just over demanding and need so much of our time and energy and care, or even work relationships like colleagues and stuff that are not pulling up the weight, and you constantly have to keep on micromanaging them or supervising them or doing the work for them on top of the work you have to do. All those things can lead to stress. It can even be any other area of your life that is leading to stress. So you need to know what is causing the stress. Is it work related? Is it financially related? Is it relationship related? So that you can deal with it adequately. Okay. So that's why I said it is important to know what exactly is causing the stress in your life so that you can deal with it. Okay. So as I said, it's not just from your work, it can be other kind of things as well. So let me tell you the 3 ways in which you can be suffering burnout. Okay. The first one is called individual burnout. What is that? Individual burnout simply means it's caused by when you have excessive negative self-talk, neurosis, and perfectionism. Okay. In other words, when you place extremely high standards on yourself or believe nothing you do is good enough, that is when you are suffering from individual burnout. When you start to have excessive negative self talk, neurosis, and perfectionism. When you place extremely high standards on yourself or believe nothing you do is good enough, you are suffering from individual burnout. So that's why I said, when I saw this, I was like, whoops, 2 hands up. This is me. This is me because I have such a high standard for myself. And sometimes it can be like, even when I do things that are good enough or do things that are great I still have ways of critiquing myself and say, oh, you could have done better, etc. So that is why I said that you need to know what type of burnout you're going through, whether it's this one, whether it's interpersonal, whether it's organizational, or even a combination of all three. It's important for you to know that, okay? So the second type of burnout you could be experiencing is called interpersonal burnout. And this is caused by difficult relationships with others at work or at home, which I just explained earlier. And then the third type is organizational burnout, okay? And this, as I said, is the one that whereby you are extremely demanded for at work. There's poor organization in your team or in your organization, unrealistic deadlines that making you feel like you're missing the mark and that your job is no more as fun or is beginning to really pile on the stress for you. It's important for you to know that. So those are the three types of burnout that you could be facing. And you could actually be facing all three or a combination of two. So individual burnout, which is caused by putting extremely high standards on yourself. Interpersonal burnout, which is caused by relationships with other people in your life. And the third one, which is organizational burnout, which is caused by extreme demands on your time, unrealistic deadlines. And then work is no more feeling like a place that you really want to go to, and you're beginning to feel detached from it and overstressed. It's important to know those, okay? So those are the type that you can face. So what are the 5 stages of burnout that you can face? Does anyone have any questions based on these 3 things that I've listed? If you do, please type it in the comment box and I will look at it and I will respond to you. So as I said, individual burnout, interpersonal burnout, and organizational burnout. Those are the 3 types that you can be going through. So if you recognize yourself having any of those kind of stress in your life, this is the right place for you to be, because I'm going to address how you can sort them out and also how to be able to deal with it. So Breakfast in the City, Abuja says a combination of 1 and 3 for her, because she already said that she was overworked from the earlier stages of the show. So that means she's got organizational burnout and, of course, individual burnout. And you can see how that correlates. When you are working in your business and working on your business, when things get too chaotic at work, it tends to also affect you individually. It tends to also affect the way you think and the way you act. So, yes, there is a direct correlation between organizational burnout leading to individual burnout. And then it can also start to trickle into your interpersonal relationships. And before you know it, you start to suffer better because you become irritable, you become angry easily, you get fed up, you become more intolerant and stuff like that. So you can see how it will affect your relationship with others. So what are the stages of burnout, so that you can recognize what stage you are at right now? If you are going through burnout, like I am, like Breakfast in the City is, so that you can say, okay, I'm at stage 1, or I'm stage 2, or I'm stage 3. And then you can start to identify the symptoms that come with it. Okay. Are we ready? Someone type it for me on the Instagram screen. The first phase is called honeymoon phase. Okay. Honeymoon phase. And I believe that all of us recognize this very, very easily once I explain it, right? Because a honeymoon phase is something we all go through. Is the stage in which you're still extremely excited about work. You know, you love everything. You wake up and you're like, woohoo! I'm so thrilled to be going to work today. I can't wait to get started on this project. So I'm typing it for them on on Facebook and on YouTube. Honeymoon phase is the first stage of burnout. Okay, so at this stage, you have high productivity level, you love your job, you're excited, everything is working great. You know, your energy level is off the charts. Everybody's like saying, thank, oh, wow, I love the work you're doing. This is exciting. And you are just, you know, receiving praises left, right, and center because everybody's seen how excited you are to do what you do, and you're doing it at such a high level. You're delivering results, and you know everything is just wonderful. That's why it's called the honeymoon phase, because we all know when what it's like. Honeymoon is supposed to be the highest point in a relationship for somebody, when everything is all lovey-dovey, the person is as perfect as it comes, Everything the person does is funny. Everything the person does is wonderful. The same thing with the syndrome. You start to feel like, life is just fantastic. Thank you, Breakfast in the City, for putting that up for me on Instagram. And that is a time where all of us have experienced a high that we see in our lives when it comes to projects, when it comes to our work, because we just are so excited. We show up earlier than everybody else, we stay later than everybody else. Why? Because we're so invested in it, we're enjoying it. Then what happens after that is stage number two. It's called onset of stress. Stage number two is called onset of stress. Okay. So I'm typing that for those here on Facebook and YouTube. If you are on Instagram, please type that for me. Number two step is onset of stress. Onset of stress. That is the second stage of burnout. Onset of stress. Okay. So, what is happening at this stage? This is the time where you start to become a little bit more irritable about what's going on. You start to say that, you know I'm not really liking the way my colleagues are doing things. And you start to nitpick at what other people are doing, or you start to find things going wrong. You also have a lower productivity level. You start to see things in your health also showing up. Maybe you're getting high blood pressure, or you're just not feeling good all the time. You're starting to see your energy level is waning, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting tired easily and stuff like that. You still don't know what's going on, but then you're beginning to feel that, what, you've left that honeymoon stage, that you're not as excited, as all smiley and rainbows and stars about your work, about your life, like you were before. That is stage number two. So you start to see a decrease in your productivity level, in your joy level, in your excitement level and energy level. And also, you might start to see some symptoms of your health beginning to wane, like maybe you're having headaches, you're not, you feel tired more, and then you're becoming more irritable. Okay, so that's stage number two. Stage number three is chronic stress. Chronic stress, stage number three, chronic stress. Please, Michael, put that up for me on Facebook and YouTube. And Madame Daily Breakfast in the City, you're doing a fabulous job on Instagram. So please put number three, chronic stress. Okay. So this is where you begin to feel chronic exhaustion. You're so tired. Like you just get home and you're like, nobody talk to me. Like, seriously, I am exhausted to the point of belief. And you're just like, your irritable level is going off the charts. You are beginning to procrastinate to start to do things whereby you were never known to be a procrastinator. You start to procrastinate. You start to go like, oh, I'll do this tomorrow because I'm too tired. Then you also start to get angry a little bit. So when somebody else is needing your time, needing you to bring your energy and stuff, you get angry at them because you're like, can't you see that I'm tired? Can't you see that I'm exhausted? Can't you see that I'm stressed out? So this is when the chronic stage of the stress starts to set in. So as you're looking at it, you can begin to know that, oh, okay, I'm still at honeymoon phase, so I'm all good. Or whether you're on onset of stress, or whether you have already started declining into chronic stress. Okay. So what's the fourth one? The fourth one is called burnout stage. So this is where you're not at the burnout stage, where you can now identify that, okay, I can now say that I am burnt out. That is stage number four. So Michael, please put that up for me again on Facebook and YouTube. And Madame Daily Breakfast in the City, can you please put that on Instagram? Stage four is burnout. Okay. So this is where you begin to doubt yourself, where you begin to have like chronic headaches, and you're beginning to feel empty on the inside, where you're beginning to start to say, oh, am I doing the right thing? Do I still in this job? Should I change my career path? Well, you start to just basically start to overthink everything and overanalyze everything. So this is something that you know is your passion. This is something you know is your purpose. This is something you know is your calling. But all of a sudden, you're just feeling empty. You're feeling drained. And I used this particular words when I was speaking to Michael, that is actually helping me type things out on Facebook and YouTube at the moment, when I told him that I was going through some issues. And I said, I feel like I'm running on an empty tank. Just like when you have a car and you fill it up with petrol, and then the gauge starts to tell you the light comes up saying that your fuel needs to be topped up because it's now at empty, you move into the reserve. So I said, I feel I'm running on my reserve tank, meaning that what I'm supposed to be operating on is completely depleted. And now I have gone into my reserve tank. And if I use up all my reserve tank, I am not going to be able to function. I'm not going to be able to do anything. I had to get to that state of admission to know that this is how I'm feeling. So I knew that I was already at stage 4, that I was beginning to doubt everything. I was beginning to doubt my efficiency, doubt my effectiveness, doubt my brilliance, doubt everything that I've always been so certain about because of this issue of feeling burnt out. And I was becoming worried. So that is why it's important for you to know that you are going through it so that you can get what you need for yourself as help to get out of it. You don't want to stay in it. So, what is the fifth one? Oluseyi Adepoju, welcome. You said, wow, it's so important because sometimes we are the last ones who want to admit to ourselves what we're going through. So, the minute I started to question everything, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should change what I'm doing. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. When you start to feel like yada, 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 I can't do this anymore, it's too much, you are already at stage 4. You are stage 4, which is burnout. Stage 4 is burnout. Let me put that up for those on YouTube and stuff. That's the 4th stage, and you don't want to be there. Burnout situation is not good. You want to move from that. And then guess what? There's a 5th level. So if you thought learning that you are at the 4th stage is bad, guess what? You can sink into 5th one, which is, oopsie, sorry about that for those of you on Instagram. I didn't know the screen is shut down. So 5th stage is habitual burnout. Oh my gosh. You don't want to be at that stage. Habitual burnout. So this is the stage whereby you are constantly burnt out and then you are sinking into the worst states of burnout that leads to depression. And you don't want that. And this comes from the fact that you did not recognize when you were going through the burnout, and then you allowed it to over escalate to the point whereby you start to suffer from the 5th and final stage, which is habitual burnt out. So at this point, it's like full blown bad. You are now beginning to get depressed. You have mental fatigue. You're not as creative as you used to be. You just don't want to do anything. You just, you not become like the annoying person to work with, because every time you used to be the one that used to be like very perky, very optimistic about life, then all of a sudden you're just criticizing everything that people are suggesting. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't see how this is going to work. You just look for ways to have arguments with people. You're not the nicest person to be with. You just want to sleep, and you just want to detach yourself from people because all of a sudden everybody's irritating to you, including people you love the most. Everybody's getting on your nerves. You're just having like really bad headaches and you feel like, I need to lie down. I can't take this anymore. I don't want to do anything. That is at the 5th stage. And you need to know when you get to that stage, because then you need professional help to be able to get you out of it, because you are totally at the bottom of the totem pole of the burnout stages. Okay. So once you realize that you're at the 5th stage, please get professional help, because it's not just something you're going to be able to deal with on your own. You can talk to a therapist, you can talk to a mental health specialist, you can talk to people that have been trained to be able to help out with work-life balance, and also help you to deal with how you can align your life in such a way whereby you don't feel like everything is completely out of sync and you don't sink into depression, because that is what we're trying to avoid, you sinking into depression. Because it's statistically proven that if you constantly get burnt out and you don't have check and balances in place, you will sink into depression. And we don't want you to sink into depression. I've been depressed before. I've been suicidal before. So I'm telling you from experience, guys, it's not a great state to be at. It is not fun at all. And you are going to need a lot of help to be able to get yourself out of it. So it's better for you to prevent it before you get to that stage. Okay. I have people joining on Instagram right now. So hello to you guys, Subu and Diva Cape, Diva Kupi. All right. So what do you do once you've discovered that you have gotten to the stages, one either stage one or stage five, and then how do you begin to work it out? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about now. How do we begin to get ourselves out of this stage? Okay, so what you need to do, first of all, is number one, pay close attention to the stresses in your life. You need to know what is causing the stress in your life and then find ways to reduce the ones that are totally unnecessary that you ought not to be feeling, but somehow is there. So when you are that person that is a yes, ma'am, yes, sir kind of person, you are constantly, taking on new projects. People ask you, oh, can you do this? And then, you're a people pleaser. I'm a recovering one. I used to be a bad one, but I'm recovering now. So I've learned to say no with a smile and with joy because I realized it was adding to my stress levels. Okay. So Breakfast on Instagram says, for me, knowing when to call myself to get back on track. Yep. You need to know that, okay, this time I need to take some time off for myself. And that's not being selfish, just being smart. That's just knowing that you need time for yourself. You need time you also need to reduce the amount of workload you have on your plate. If you don't do that, you're going to constantly get stressed. So, as I said, reduce the unnecessary stressors. So, if it's people that you don't need to deal with that are adding stress to your life, get rid of them. If it's work that you're not supposed to be dealing with, but you're dealing with it, get rid of it. You can always, fob it up to somebody else. That's why they say delegate. Many of us are really bad at delegating, and that is the reason why we get into the stages of burnout. Many of us also find it difficult to ask for help when we need it. So you need to learn to be able to pay close attention to what is causing the stress and then start to deal with it. So reduce the unnecessary stresses in your life. So number one is pay close attention to the stresses in your life and reduce unnecessary ones. Okay, I hope that is helping. The second thing you need to do is understand where your time is going. Understand where your time is going and actually start to audit your time. So when you start to audit your time, you realize that, oh my gosh, I actually spend 2 hours trying to create posts for social media. That's probably for adding to my stress because I don't want to spend 2 hours every day creating posts for social media, especially if you're the kind of person that your posts are not even getting that maximum engagement and stuff. So you're like, I'm putting in that much time, energy, and effort into something that's not really giving me the kind of value I want. So you can use that to know that, okay, maybe I need to reduce the amount of time I'm spending to create this post. You can start to ask yourself, okay, how many hours a day do I actually get to chill, relax, sleep, eat, all those things, exercise, meditate? You need to know. You need to know all these things because that's how you get to know where the stress is coming in, what is too much at the moment, how you can reduce it. Okay. Understand where your time is actually going and then conduct a time audit. Okay. I hope this is helping somebody. Please let me know in the chat box. Is this making sense to you? Is it helpful? Thank you for all the love and hearts that I'm seeing on Instagram. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for encouraging me as well. Because as I said, this is a real life situation that I am experiencing at the moment. And I am vulnerable and authentic enough to share with you guys to tell you that, look, I am going through burnout right now and I'm having to deal with it and I'm getting better and I'm almost out of it, but not completely. And I wanted to share my journey with you and also help other people that are going through the same thing because I believe it will help. So Sugar BS says, how can you manage the work pressure? Okay, so that is part of the thing. If you have so much work on your table, that's why I said, is there some that you can delegate out to others? Are there other people you can reach out to say, you know what, I need you to be able to take some of this workload. Talk to your supervisor. Let them know if you have one that gave you all that work that right now it's too much for me to be able to give my best at. So I would respectfully like to ask for some of these things, which are not my main area of expertise anyway, to be given to somebody else while I focus on the things that I know that I'm an absolute genius at and I can give my very best at. You need to be able to speak up and say that I am feeling stressed and overwhelmed at the moment from this workload. And I need to be able to find some valve or how to release the pressure. And by telling your supervisor, by telling somebody that you are close to at work about what you're going through, would help you to be able to reduce some of the workload that is giving stress, especially if that is your problem, organizational burnout. You need to speak up. You need to talk to someone in HR. You need to talk to somebody in your team, especially your team leader or your manager, so that you can resolve it as quickly as possible before it escalates to stage 5. Okay, so it's important. All right, so I hope I answered your question, Shubi BS, on Instagram. So the third thing you need to be aware of is regularly revisit your priorities to make sure they are realistic, they are valid, and connected to bigger goals. Okay. So you know how they always say that create smart goals and stuff. I created something called great goals. And in it, I say revisit because the R is so important. You must constantly revise, review, and revisit your goals and your time schedules that you set for yourself. Because if you don't, you might find yourself doing too much or, trying to do something that you can actually take on later. So when you revisit your priorities, you might realize that, you know what? It's actually not a priority for right now. I can do this in December. I can do this in January. And that would help you to take off some of the load off you. Because when you don't look back at what you've set as goals, as priorities, as plans and intentions for yourself on a regular basis, you might not know when your priorities have shifted, when things that used to be important are no more important. And then you might just get stuck in that conundrum of doing things because you put it on your schedule list in January, but it's not essential to you anymore in October. So regularly revisiting your priorities will allow you to do what is essential for now. Did you get that? Revisiting your priorities will allow you to do what is essential for now because you are in this present moment for a purpose. You need to ask yourself, what do I need to do today to help me to maximize my productivity level, reduce my stress, and still be able to function, if not at my optimal best, at least above average. You don't want to put on extra pressure on yourself than you need. So, regularly revisiting your priorities would help you to be able to align yourself and take off some of the stress. Okay, so number 4, what do you need to do is bring more structure into your day. Bring more structure into your day. That's number 4. Because many times we all just feel like life is happening to us when we don't have a plan. Having a structure will allow you to know that, okay, at least I'm in control as much as possible with what is going on in my life. So, number 4 is bring more structure into your day. Some of you already have like a schedule to say that, okay, I get to work at this time, I leave work at this time. What about the in between? Can you schedule for yourself during that time at work to say that I will take a power nap for 30 minutes? I will take a walk for 30 minutes to be able to just, de stress, take my mind off work, and just, do something that would just make me feel a little bit better. Whatever it is you need to do to aid you during your working day, I want to suggest you do it, right? Put it there. If it's playing music for 15 minutes, put it there. If it's meditating, put it there. Put some structure in your day. Say that, okay, if you are the kind of person that you need to cook and stuff like that, can you tell yourself that, okay, I don't want to have to cook every day because it's really stressing me out? Can I cook some things as batch and then I have it to use when I need it? Okay. Oopsie, I've kind of ignored the comments on Facebook because I changed screen. So I need to go back to them. So you need to know exactly what you can do to bring more structure into your day. You need to ask yourself, what can I do that makes me feel like I'm in control of how I'm living my today? So that way you will not feel so out of alignment and out of sync with what is going on. It's so important that you put in the structure. Put in the structure that will make you feel like you own the power of your day. And that way you don't feel so powerless and you don't feel like things are just not going according to plan. So Michael Sewell says on Facebook that absolutely making sense. ML, self-awareness of self-understanding are key. Yes. Continual investment in renewal is essential, whether individual, family, or organization. I agree with you totally. Thank you so much for those comments, Michael. So that is one of the things you need to do. So once you're able to bring in structure into your day, it would allow you to start to feel like, okay, I don't feel so out of sync with what is going on, and I can control as much as possible how my day is transpiring. So, number 5, that you can do is create a wind down ritual to separate work from non work hours. This is so key, especially for those that find themselves working with their family or working with their spouse in the same kind of business or work, because many times you will find out that you're stressed at work, you have all the stresses and all those things there. Then you guys bring work home as well. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like, where do we draw the line? Where's the boundary to say that we're done with work time right now? This is now playtime. This is now relaxing time. And many of us that are CEOs and solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, we tend to do that. We don't have a wind down ritual to say that when it is so time, I am done with anything work related. We say that, oh, because the world is a global village right now, we give people too much access to us. So you are still answering DMs at 11 p.m. because you feel like, oh, I don't want to lose this client or lose that person's interest in what I'm doing. No, that's why you're getting stressed out. You need to say that, look, what doesn't get done for work by 7 p.m., I'm not gonna I'm not gonna attend to it till the next day. You must create a wind down ritual so that you don't have to pile up all your hours of the day with just work. It's gonna leave you burnt out. It's gonna leave you stressed out. It's gonna leave you also inaccessible to yourself and to the other people you're close to and the people that need you and the people you love and would actually genuinely want to spend time with. So you need to be able to say no. Once it's this time, I'm not going to do anything work related unless it's a freaking emergency. I am not going to deal with it until tomorrow. And then you put the time tomorrow when you can start to deal with it. So from 9 a.m., from 8 a.m., I will get back to work. You need time for yourself. You need to make yourself a priority. You need to make your heart center, your physical center, your mental center, your emotional center a priority. Otherwise, you would never do anything that fills up the bank. It's just like you going to try and withdraw money from the ATM and you put in a figure that exceeds the amount that you've deposited into the account. What's going to happen? You tell me what's going to happen. The ATM machine is going to tell you insufficient funds. That is exactly how it is with us in our lives. We have insufficient funds in our emotional accounts, in our physical account, in our love account, in our mental account, because we don't make it a priority like we do for work. We are constantly on the hustle, on the job, and it's beginning to take its toll on us. And you need to be able to know when to draw the line and create the boundaries to say that no, I need to stop work at this time. And it doesn't matter what has been done and what has not been done. I am not going to allow myself to think about it. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to live life. I'm going to do other things that make me happy. I'm going to go to dance class. I'm going to watch a movie with my husband. I'm going to play with my kids. I'm going to talk to Michael on the phone and just chat and just be adults and goof around. I'm not going to do anything that is work related. It is so important that we do that. Okay. Number 6, what do you need to do after you've created a wind down structure for yourself? Focus on progress. Focus on progress and not just the end goal. So when you start to look at the goals you've set for yourself and look at the things that are on your project list and you start to look at oh, we're so far off base, we've not yet met our target. Guess what? It's going to add to your stress. So if you put a target for yourself for this quarter or for this month or for this week, and it's XXX thousands or hundreds of dollars, and you've not met it yet, when you start to look at it from that vantage point of view, you lose the the benefit you get from looking at what you've already done and what is already happening. So if you've already made some money, look at it from that point and say, okay, we were able to make this amount of money. How did we make that happen? What else can we do to increase what we've done? What else can I do to ensure that my show is getting more views and stuff like that? You need to focus on the progress you've made. You know, it's not even easy to show up and do shows that is on a schedule. So for people when they ask me, how have you been able to do over 200 episodes? I said, because each day, whether I'm feeling great or not, when I show up, I celebrate myself and celebrate the fact that I did make it, and that is progress. And that aids me to keep on doing what I've been doing. Because if I decided to have a very myopic view and say that, oh, you know, I wanted it to be a show that has millions of views. I'm not getting that. I don't have thousands, XXX hundreds of thousands of followers yet, I will lose sight of the progress that I've made, because not many people can boast of the fact that they've done 200 episodes of a show consistently over 4 years, and now we're in the fifth season. So focusing on the progress of what you are able to do would also eliminate some of the stress you put on yourself. Instead of looking at the end goal all the time to say, oh, but we're so far off our target, look at how far you've come. Remind yourself of the progress you've been making. Remind yourself of the things you've been able to accomplish. Let that fill you with joy. Let that reignite your passion. Let that fill you up with the positivity you need to keep you going. Because when you are feeling happy, excited, and energized, your stress level reduces. It is a given fact. The more excited you are, the more happy you are, the more full of joy you are, the easier it is for you to not be in a state of stressed out or burnout. So many times, the reason why we're losing our joy, losing our excitement, losing our passion is because we are not reminding ourselves of the things that we've done so well. We're not reminding ourselves of the accomplishment of the things that are progress. We're all work in progresses. It's impossible to meet the deadline or meet our goals all the time, but acknowledge the progress you're making. Yes. So Ira Rev says on Facebook, having a rest day each week is something he lives by. It's so important. Thank you for sharing that. And it will really help, because if you can just take one day off during the week to say that, look, I don't care what is going on. This is me day. I am just going to chill out. I'm just going to have fun. And it's my self care and self repair day. It would help you. This is excellent content, Madame Merola. Thank you so much. And Modupe says, heart, thank you guys. Thank you for the encouragement. I love it. I celebrate you guys for also encouraging me. And as I said, focus on progress, not just the end goal. And then number 7, what do you need to do? Build your burnout self awareness with regular reviews. Okay. So once you know that you are beginning to suffer from burnout from time to time, you need to have what I call a self check on your calendar. So if it's once a month, you need to tell yourself, okay, I need to review how my burnout situation was this month. Was I stressed out like I was last month? Am I improving in how I'm aligning my life and dealing with things? You could find yourself actually going through months where you're not feeling stressed out just because you're giving yourself a self examination. You know how they always tell us as women that, oh, periodically, I have it on my calendar scheduled, and it tells me self examine your breast and stuff just to make sure you don't have any lumps and stuff like that, to be able to detect early on before it becomes full blown breast cancer. That's the same thing. Excuse me. That's the same thing. You don't want your burnout to get to stage 5, where it's completely chronic burnout stage. You want to be able to say to yourself that, how am I managing my stress? How am I managing or reducing the stress levels in my life at a periodical level, so that you are able to ensure that you don't become burnt out and have to deal with so much. So that's number 7. Build your burnout self-awareness with regular reviews. Okay. So Breakfast in the City says build your burnout check to evaluate yourself. Absolutely. Welcome, Nonia and Co. So we're talking about dealing with burnout. Okay. So seventh tip is to build that regular review. So have a self-awareness check whereby you're asking yourself, how am I doing? How am I coping? How am I living? Am I mentally stable? Am I emotionally happy? Am I physically healthy? Am I spiritually in tuned with my purpose and my calling? All those things are so essential for you to be able to eliminate and also prevent yourself from falling into stage 5 of burnout. Okay. Number 8 is what? Make time for self care, sleep, reflection, and hobbies. Make time for self care, guys. That is so important. We've been talking about self care year in, year long. And I think, especially when the pandemic hit, many people realized that they had been suffering from burnout and just dealing with it and coping with it, but it was affecting their health. Many people started having high cholesterol level, high blood pressure, chronic headaches that were turning into migraines just because they did not have all the self awareness check. So now you need to know that self care is not selfish. Self care is health care. You need self care to function. You need self care to be able to be at your optimal self. You need self care to be able to still be alive because all those goals, all those dreams, all those things that you're setting on your schedule to do, guess what? You can only do it when you're alive. You can't do it when you're in the grave. So why put yourself in an early grave? Because you refuse to make time for self care. We need it. I need it. I need so much of it right now because that's part of my overwhelm. I was beginning to get tired and I really wanted some time out. I wanted to take a break. I just wanted to just go away and not have to deal with children, school runs, food, business, shows, and stuff. But, I can't. So I had to find a way, a mechanism of coping and also putting in things along the pockets of my day that makes me feel good. It makes me happy and not stressed out. And I can change my mindset about the fact that I am stressed out because of ABC. Okay. So make time for self care, for sleep, for your reflections, meditations, and hobbies is so important. As breakfast creates your me time. So, so essential. What are the comments that I'm getting on Facebook? It says self check is very important and that we should make time for sleep. Yeah, very important as well. Self reflections and hobbies. Awesome. So, what is the final tip that I've got for you? You guys ready? Do you want to know? Let me know if you're interested. All right, here it comes. Find a support network of people you trust. So important, above everything else. For someone like me, I'm a talker. I don't like to keep things bottled up inside me because it just makes me sick. So finding a support network of people I can trust and talk to whenever I'm feeling stressed, worked out, overexhausted, overwhelmed over anything, and anxious about life, this helps me a lot. Helps me a lot. Find your support network of people. So as Breakfast in the City put it on Instagram, find your support mechanism. It is so important. So, like when I told you that I discovered that I was stressed out and overwhelmed and beginning to recognize that I was suffering from burnout, I spoke to two people that I trusted, and both of them, their names happen to be Michael. So that's kind of weird, right? And they both told me two things that were so important. The first, Michael said, create on your schedule. And even if it's to put a deposit, it's time for you to go away, right? Because I kept on talking about the fact that I needed a holiday. And then the second Michael said that, you know what? Because the holiday that you're scheduling is still far off, you need immediate relief. He said, you live in Abuja. Do you like nature? I said, yes. Then he said, okay, you've got Jabi Lake there, right? Can you take a walk around Jabi Lake and then, meditate on something that makes you happy or play music? Put it in your AirPods and listen to that as you look at scenery that makes you feel good. That was awesome. So by being vulnerable enough to talk to somebody else about what I was going through, that helped me to get other people share with me coping mechanisms that would be perfect for me. And I could only share with people I trust because I knew that there were some certain people that if I told them, they would be very blasé about it and just say, oh, everybody's stressed out. Da, 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 da. So you know what? Just, deal with it. Some of them will be negative about it. Some of them will be unhelpful. So I don't choose those kind of people to talk to. I choose people that are going to be caring, that I know care about me, want me to be on my best, and also want me to feel good about life and to be healthy in every way. So that's why I say you need to find the right support system. Don't be fooled to think that the people that are in your family are the best people to talk to. It's not everyone in your family that will be the right support system. So find the people that you know that you can speak your truth, you can be vulnerable with, you can let them know how you're feeling, and they will help you to deal with it in such a way that you will get the relief that you wanted, and also that emotional suck up knowing that somebody cares enough to spend their time, which is a resource that is valuable to them, with you. You need to know that people care about you enough to make time to talk to you when you need support, whether it's just for emotional reasons, for mental reasons, for financial reasons, whatever kind of reason. It is important that you know that there are people there for you. We all cannot live life alone. We cannot be our best selves alone. We've been built and wired to need emotional connection and to need the support and connection that we get with other people. And how you get that is by building a support network of people that you trust so that when you need that help is available for you at the tap of a button. You're able to call on this person and say, hey, you know what? Have you got a second? I need help right now. And the person says, sure. Or tell you that, can we do it in 10 minutes or in 1 hour time so that I can make enough time for you? It's important that you have those kind of people. And guess what? You also need to make yourself available to be that kind of person for other people when they need it. To thyself be true, but also whatever you expect others to do for you, be willing to do it for other people that you love and want them to find you trustworthy and also supportive. Because many times we want people to be supportive to us, but then are we supportive to other people as well? Are we checking up on our friends? Are we checking up on our family members? Are we making time to be there when people need us for the support they need in life so that they don't get into the stage of over burnt out syndrome? It is so vital, guys. It is so vital. So, to end the show with, because it's almost an hour now, I'm going to share with you a quote that I believe it is fantastic and can help us. And the quote is from Frank Shamiro. He is an artist, and he says, fatigue happens to your body, but burnout exhausts your soul. I just love that. Fatigue happens to your body, but burnout exhausts your soul. We don't want to get to the point of total exhaustion whereby life becomes meaningless and overwhelming. We want to be able to not endure life, but enjoy life. We want to be at our maximum best self. We want to wake up every day and be grateful for the gift of the present life that we have so that we can truly not just be phenomenal people, but live a phenomenal life. So you don't want fatigue to set in your body and exhaustion to take over your soul, to take over your spirit, to wipe out all the joy and excitement you have for life. You want to be able to find ways in which, in every moment of life and every given time in the day, you can say that, yes, I enjoy the fact that I am alive. And even though everything is not perfect, I am still content and grateful that I am me and I'm doing what makes me happy and what I know is my zone of genius. Thank you, Breakfast in the City, for saying very true. Thank you, Abioyo. Okay, super insightful. Thank you, the band creator. We need this, guys. Please don't get to that state of total burnout and do it in isolation. You are not alone. Reach out to me. I am giving this public declaration. Reach out to me because I'm telling you, I was at this stage last week whereby if I did not get the help I had from the two Michaels, I probably would have sunk into stage number 5, chronic burnout. But I didn't. I was able to start to elevate and come out, and I'm back to level one now and at level two. So I know I was going to be back to level one, which is the honeymoon phase. But that's because I spoke out. I shared what I was going through and I got the help I needed. And I started to self evaluate and self repair and self care for myself, making myself a priority, telling myself that, you know what, it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay for me to take some time out. It's okay for me to, remove some of the things that are on my plate and just do what is necessary for me today. So that is it. Taking one day as it comes, living in the present, but also knowing that life is not meant to be lived alone. We all need each other. And I'm making myself available to help anyone that is going through burnout syndrome right now so that I can be your accountability partner. We can help each other and minister life to each other so that you can find a connection back to your why, to your purpose, to your source of joy, and live life from that vantage point of true excitement and love for what you do. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Live a Phenomenal Life Show, Season 5, Episode 4. My name is Madame Merola. I am the Bang creator and the host of the show. What do I do as a living? I am known as the Bang creator because I ignite the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. I live to make you see yourself the way God sees you. I exist to be able to point out what your zone of genius is in such a way that you're able to utilize it and become a profitable, prominent personal brand. I am that energizer, igniter, and confidence booster that you need in your life to be able to function at maximum capacity. And I am also telling you that I'm human just like you. So sometimes I also need help. That's why no matter what you do in life, no matter how advanced or how great you are living your life, never ever discount the fact that you still need a coach. You still need somebody in your corner that can be a mentor, that can be an accountability partner, that can be a coach to guide you in life because life is all about how we navigate it. And I can help you to navigate your life to the point whereby you are living it at a phenomenal level. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending your time with me because your time is valuable to me. Your time and your energy and your contribution today has been a source of blessing to me. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to Michael Modupe and to Olushaya that joined me and commented heavily on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you to Abioye Okay. Thank you to Breakfast in the City, Abuja. Thank you to all those that are still watching on Instagram, that are watching silently and are not commenting, but are still here. That is so important. Thank you for sticking through to the end of the show to be able to get the bits of tips I have for you. I hope it's been beneficial. Please do me the courtesy. Share this video with others. Let people know that, hey, you don't need to suffer in silence. Burnout is it's something that exists, but it's not a life or death sentence. You can actually beat it, you can cure it, and you can prevent it. Till next week, Monday, when I'll be back with a guest, I wish you a phenomenal Monday and an amazing week because you deserve the best in life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be whole. And above all, you deserve to live a successful life that you can be proud of. Till next time, be good to yourself. Do oopsie. Sorry, guys. So, Instagram and Facebook. Till next time, be good to yourself. Do you 100% unapologetically and keep living the life that you want to live because you are in control. Take care of yourself and mwah, lots of love from me to you guys. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Breakfast in the City, Abuja. Thank you for today's bang. There's always a bang with Madame Merola. That is Michael's signature ending for me every time on the show. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you all for watching.